Freddie Flintoff's compensation settlement from the BBC could have been a lot higher, according to an injury lawyer. Last year, Freddie left the BBC show Top Gear after he was hospitalised following a car accident during filming at a test track in Surrey. The former England cricketer suffered serious injuries after his vehicle flipped and slid along a track. The 46-year-old sustained broken ribs and horrific facial injuries as a result, and he was later deemed lucky to be alive after the collision. Last week, he received a compensation settlement of £9 million from the BBC. Chris Deacon, an international injury lawyer at Stewart's, spoke exclusively with Express Online about Flintoff's injuries and said that the compensation sum could have been higher. So you know of that £9 million, typically, how that figure will be arrived at the damages to the actual injury itself, said Chris. What we call pain and suffering and loss of amenity is probably going to be less than 5% of the overall damages that H has agreed with the BBC. The bulk of the damages will be his future losses. So future loss of income, medical therapies, if he does need any care, I don't know whether that is the case or not. But if he needed some sort of support in day-to-day activities, then that would be included in that damages figure. On the loss of income, I saw it reported somewhere that it was only 2 years of earnings, which is interesting because that kind of suggests that H has either agreed that on the basis that he thought that that was sufficient to see him through, or there is some sort of medical evidence that suggests that within 2 years he would be able to return to some sort of work. If that weren't the case, then depending on what the evidence suggested about his future earning capacity, you would expect that that figure could have been considerably higher. After Freddie's crash, a BBC spokesperson said that a hiatus for the show was the most appropriate decision. Top Gear was originally created in 1977, before being rebooted in 2002 with Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond and James May. The popular BBC series was relaunched in 2019 with McGuinness, Flintoff and Chris Harris as co-hosts. In November 2023, the BBC said the show will not be returning for the foreseeable future.